Hey, this is Doc. Um, I've been watching some gang member stuff on YouTube, and if you look at my homepage, the ones that I click like should show up on my homepage. But you got to realize something that if you live close to a city or close to a region where there's a big population, you're going to have gangs that you're going to have to deal with. And when the gangs cannot sell their drugs anymore, they're going to group up and do what they need to do. And I'm telling you what the reason I'm bringing this up is it doesn't matter what problem occurs, whether it comes from the sky or economics or what have you. Okay, there is a group of people out there that have the only one thing on their mind, and that's to profit, and that they have no reserve on whether or not to take you out. Okay, even here in Detroit, what's fascinating is this summer they finally hired a police chief. Okay, we were like 8 months without a police chief in the city of Detroit. I'm out of the city. I'm not in the city. Okay, so but yet I've got to do business in the city, and I never will go in there unarmed. But within 6 months, all of a sudden, these tweets and these other comments are being stated where because the new sheriff is doing a major sweep on cleaning up crime, and they actually have a hit out on him. The gangs said that somebody needs to take him out, and frankly, I'm all for the sheriff. Okay, I'm all for him, dude. You do what you got to do. Send them in by groups of hundreds and clear out neighborhoods at a time, whatever it takes. But see, when lawlessness occurs, if the SHTF occurs and the WROL occurs, I'm going to have to deal with some of them people coming down my direction. I'm not putting a race to it because there's all races involved in it. But I have to be able to deal with that. And not everybody we deal with that comes into our neighborhoods are goody two shoes, nice people. And for some reason, we have trouble comprehending that we have to realize that not everybody we see is good. Okay? Because we automatically assume that everybody we say excuse me or pardon me to or hold the door for are good people. No. You just don't know people. And I don't want to paranoid you. Okay? Because everything is fine right now. But if something does occur, you'll be amazed at who turns on who. And you cannot be like a lamb to the slaughter. Okay? You need to be wise as a serpent, yet gentle as doves. So you need to watch some of these, like the Gangland or the Chicago gangs or the Detroit gangs or these other gangs, the Atlanta gangs on YouTube. There's all kinds of them on YouTube, okay, where you can watch them and realize that they go turf to turf, which means when their turf is empty, they'll find new turf and they'll claim it to be theirs. And your community could end up being what they consider their turf. Don't allow that to happen. Okay? What I'm saying is don't allow it to happen. That's why people need to connect with people. Because I'll be hanged if any group from Detroit is going to come to my area where I've got 200 people here to take care of and is going to try to set up shop. Okay, and that's why we need to be who we are, and we need to be ready for whatever comes our way. It's not about, people think about militia, people think about FEMA, people think about, we got all that to think about. My number one concern is the people around me. And my number one concern is those who would try to do harm to those around me. And I can't allow that to happen. So when you settle into a place, you need to realize if you're feeling unctioned, you've got to make sure that the people around you that are innocent, you know who are around me? I've got people who are 85 years old around me. I've got people in their 70s, in their 60s. I've got people, widowers. I've got a lot of people around me, and I've got a lot of people in their young age and their middle age with kids, okay? I got to put all that in consideration. But I'm not just out for myself, all right? God didn't place me here to be out for myself. I'm out for all those, to protect them and to help them. You know, when I joined the military, even though the commercial says Army of One, no. Do never be the weakest link in a group. It's the weakest link that causes the most failures. And when you have a group, you are supporting the group and you are defending the group. And when you go into a fire situation, you are defending each other. You're not just defending yourself. And what is it the Three Musketeers used to say? All for one and one for all. Well, you know what? That's a mentality that we have to remember. It's not just for I'm taking care of myself and nobody else. That's not a country. That's not a nation. Okay? It's a group of people who are willing to defend one another to the last drop of their blood. And there's a lot of people out there who were raised from birth who have no idea what civility or sense of patronage is, or a sense of doing the right. They've been raised in gang communities. They've been raised in communities of where the education is low. And they have no idea what it's like to live a life of freedom without guns, without people, friends dying around them, or family dying every day around them. So their heart is seared with a hot iron, as the Bible says. But we can't allow that to come our direction. And if they do, we can't allow it to stand. Okay? So, I'm still looking for some people who's willing to give me a hand in the communication area. But I want to remind you, you watch some of these gangland shows, and you realize it don't matter what community you're in, every community has a gang. Because every community has some sort of drug transportation. And when that transportation shuts down, they're going to try to make money in other ways. And you will not be their guinea pig. That's what scares them. You see, now when people go to the gas station here, they're carrying concealed weapons. So a thug has no idea when he approaches somebody whether or not he's going to get shot back at. And it's actually deterring a lot of crime because there's a lot of people carrying concealed weapons. Okay? So we have to be able to do this. And I'm just speaking from my heart, okay? That we need to band together and be able to stand for each other. And I know that the police chief of Detroit will be okay because he has a whole army behind him who will protect him and will take care of him because he is sweeping the streets and causing a lot of discomfort to a lot of drug dealers. But when they come rolling out our direction, we have to be willing to sweep the streets too. we got to let them know we're not going to deal with them either here, wherever they pop up, okay? All right. God bless. If you have a ham radio license, and if you have a home base ham radio on the east side of the Mississippi, okay, it doesn't matter what state, my Skype name is Short47, SHORT, the number 4 and the number 7. I want to be able to discuss with you so we can get information out to all these other people that are in my communication, so we can put out a daily discussion or a daily word for them in order to keep them at the ready. All right, nobody in my or who's watching my videos should ever be caught unaware. All right, when the problem hits, you're not going to be one going, I don't know what to do. No, you're going to be prepared. All right. Now, we don't know what problem hits. I'm not centering it on the economy. I'm not centering it on space. I'm not centering on anything. All I know is when whatever hits the fan, we bug in for the first 30 days. After that, we got to communicate to get to each other. If things have not calmed down, and if things have not gotten back to normal, then we put in plan B. And plan B is getting to me so I can get you where you need to go. Okay? Otherwise, prepare what you need to for your home. Okay? Prepare what you need to for your home. That's what I'm doing. If this government gets everything squared away and straightened out in 30 days, we're good to go. We don't got to go any farther. But if they don't, then we got to go farther. Plan B. Okay? Short47. If you don't want to talk to me, and don't be afraid to talk to me. I'm just a man. I've got experience in many areas, but I'm just a man. I'll talk to you like I'm your brother or your uncle or whatever. Okay? But I just got to make sure you're going to be okay. And I got to make sure that you're going to have the right information. All right? I'm not some nutball off into a wild tangent. I'm putting a plan together, and I'm making a way that you and your kids and your grandkids or whoever you are responsible for can be safe. Because that's what, and I believe this with all my heart, that's what God has called me to do. Now, if you want to deal with somebody else, go ahead. I've got no problem. But if you get hold of me, I will do my best with the people I have in place already to get you safely to a place until the Lord returns or until things calm down. Because I'm frankly believing that once things calm down, I'll be able to come back to my home community and help set up and rebuild if there is any disaster. And I believe that you're hoping for the same thing. Okay? But let's cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's prepare the bridges now, just so we are able to do what we need to do. All right? We don't know what tomorrow brings, but we got to prepare today. Because those who prepare today, according to Demcad, I believe his name is, those who prepare today are prepared for tomorrow. I think that's the way he says it. And I don't want to take that from him. That's his line. My line is, you got to do the do. Okay? That's my line. Do the do. All right. God bless. God love you.